Kasey Bella, how is your day going aside from doing interviews today?
My day is going actually great, and the interviews are the highlight of my day. And it's a very nice day considering it's like fall is starting and the weather's doing pretty nice, so I'm happy about that.
So before I ask you about Notice to Quit, does anyone get to call you Kasey or are you Kasey Bella to everybody?
Well, some people call me just like Casey Bella by my full name, but like my friends and people that know me really well call me Bella.
Oh, okay. Is the Kasey Bella when you're getting in trouble? That's the parents, like the full name thing?
Well, I think for when I'm getting in trouble, they go Casey Bella Suarez to call me down the stairs, and that's how I know I'm in pretty deep trouble.
Now I know. Well, congratulations on Notice to Quit. And I had the pleasure of speaking with a co-star and the director and all that yesterday. And when I asked the director, I said, how'd you find Kasey? Or I said Kasey Bella in that interview. You're not in trouble. He said, you were one of a couple hundred people who auditioned, and you didn't even need to finish. He knew that was you. Did you know that that audition had gone so well when it was going on?
No, not really. I mean, I watched over that self-tape and before I sent it, and I was really proud of myself. I mean, I really saw myself in that character and I saw myself doing that character, but I know that like whatever happens, happens. And like I think a few weeks had passed and then I got a call back and then I met Simon and he was so nice and gave me lots of notes, but never did I expect that I would actually get the role. And it was my first lead role or like hearing about that I got myself into a lead role and I was really excited. I was bawling and crying and oh gosh, I hope no one ever sees me in that state again.
Well, it's a very heavy role,
Yeah.
without spoiling too much of the movie. Parents that are fighting, one of the parents going through a lot of trauma, a daughter that kind of doesn't know where that they stand, all in the midst of a very, very hot summer day. What were you able to draw experience from? Because it seems like in reading up the best I could about you, it seemed like you have a pretty good life for an actress.
Yeah, I do. It's just I think the thing that helped me connect most to Anna was her personality. Her personality is literally me, but in a different universe. Like she's sarcastic. She's funny. I'd like to say I'm pretty funny. I don't
I
know.
think so. We've seen your comedy chops in another movie, which we'll talk about, but go ahead.
She's very sweet and she's very honest, I'd say. And I'm a very honest person too. She will say whatever's on her mind. If she wants to go see her dad, she will definitely go see her dad. She will get whatever she wants. And I think just me putting myself in that character was so easy for me. And I think that's just like what made the movie more me, I guess.
Had you filmed in New York before?
I don't think so. Not in like the hot New York streets. No, I have not.
Wow, okay. Because the first movie that I saw you in, the Netflix Sandler movie,
Mhm.
tell me if I have the title right. You were so not invited to my bat mitzvah. Am I
Yes,
missing a word there?
you are
It
so not invited to my bat mitzvah. Yes.
yeah, it's a hard name to say. So I'm glad I got it correct. That was filmed in Toronto, right?
Yeah,
But that was
Toronto.
pretending like that was in New York.
Because it was her dream to be in New York, like her bat mitzvah. So yeah, it was funny.
So that was pretending to be in New York, but it was in Canada. But this was really New York and filmed in New York.
Yeah, it was definitely different. The experiences were different. If it was fake New York and real New York, it was not really adding up.
Yeah. So in filming, amongst hot weather and not beautiful apartments, as we see towards the beginning of the movie there, did you at least get to experience beautiful New York as part of the filming shoot?
Definitely. I mean, even the sunny days were beautiful, but I think the only bad part about sunny days is it was so humid and sticky, but that's what made the movie it is. And at some point, it got a little cold because we were filming throughout August to like beginning of October. So it would get like a little cold and chilly and they had to start spraying sweat on me. And obviously I couldn't like wear a jacket over that. So I'd be like this offset when they weren't filming. And I just felt so sticky, but at least when people are watching the movie, they can tell that it's a summer day. So yeah.
Had you been familiar with any of the cast before landing the role in Notice to Quit?
I had never like really watched Michael in Marvelous Miss Maisel, but my mom had watched it, and even before Zoo or anything, hearing about Michael, my mom loved Miss Maisel, and I would go downstairs. She'd be like binge watching that show with herself, like eating popcorn in like the corner of the couch, and she was like, "No, you can't watch this. Go back upstairs." I was like, "Huh, okay." And then once I finally saw that Michael was going to be in the movie with me, my mom was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was just watching your show the other day." And I was like, "Mom, chill. You're embarrassing myself." But yeah, it was really funny.
So now, are you allowed to watch it, or do you have to wait a few more years to watch Mrs. Maisel?
Now I'm allowed to watch it.
Got it. Having worked with the guy, where you see, he's not really a funny character in Mrs. Maisel. Even though he starts off as a comedian, he's kind of a serious character around a bunch of quirky, funny people. But in speaking with Michael yesterday, I see he's very funny. Is he able to, the second they go cut, is he funny, or does he take a while to come out of character?
He is very funny, but he could stay in his character like in between scenes, but like during lunchtime or offset when we're just talking like regular mom or not mom, dad and daughter, we you can I don't know, he gave me very good dad advice, and he said a lot of like dad jokes that weren't the funniest, but he definitely like seemed to me like he was a father figure to me, and he gave me like the best advice on everything really, and what to say to Simon, like if Simon was going all over the place and so crazy and everything, and I wasn't like doing my best, he'd be like, "You're doing very good. Like just like keep going. There's only a few more hours, and then you could take a big nap, and it's okay." And I was like, "It's okay. I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And all thanks to him, I think that he just made the movie like really the daughter and dad bond just even more special.
Did you get to spend any time around Robert Klein making this movie?
I did. He was a very funny person on set. He was just in the movie, you could just tell he's a very wise person, maybe because he's a little old, but I'm not gonna say that because then I'll jinx it and then I'll start getting wrinkles. But
Well,
he's very funny. Yes.
I believe he was the first person to ever have a stand-up special on HBO. So
Mm.
he kind of proves that comedians are great actors. Are you very interested in a lot of comedy roles in the future?
In my opinion, comedy comes to me more easy than drama. Like shedding a few tears laughing is a little easier than shedding a few tears crying in a scene. So I'd say yes, I love comedy and drama, but I'm more leaning on the comedy side when it comes to auditions, and I just love making my friends laugh, and I think that in an audition my goal is to make the people who are watching it laugh as well.
And the coming back to you're so not invited to my bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. You see, I got it wrong that time.
It's okay, it takes a
Was that a
while.
traditional audition for you as well? A cattle call, as they call it?
Yes, I mean in the beginning it was very fun to film, and I had auditioned for a different role, but then I had gotten to the callback, like producer session, and I'd met Sunny, and she was such a sweet girl. She still is, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She's so nice, and just talking to her just felt so natural. And then I booked a different role in the movie, and then I flew into Canada like 2 days before prior I'd known. So I found out like the weekend of, and then I had to fly out the next day. And just like the first day of set, or not even of set, like just like unpacking my stuff in the hotel, we had all met up and it was already like an instant bond. Like all of us had just clicked so easily.
So that is a comedy. Obviously, you have to have your 40 minutes in the middle where nobody's getting along to make it dramatic before it's fun again. So that's a comedy. Then this movie's kind of a thriller, you could say, a
Yeah.
drama thriller. And then you were in a horror movie, Your Monster. So, in other words, three big movies, three different genres.
Yes. It was definitely a little roller coaster trying to jump from one genre to another genre to another genre. But I think all of them were equally as fun to film. And I think in Bat Mitzvah it was easier because I was like more surrounded by kids my age, and In Notice to Quit, Robert Klein is not my age, and Michael is not my age as well. No offense. You're not kids though, so I'll be honest. But all of them were really funny and made me feel at home. And in Your Monster as well, it was really fun, and all the people were so kind. The people doing my makeup, they all made me feel like I was so welcome, and it was really fun to film all three.
So this is a new movie to us, to you. You know, it's an old movie. It already happened. Are we allowed to know where we're going to be seeing you next, or do we just have to keep following you on Instagram and that's how we find out?
I mean, keep following me, and then you know the deets, I guess.
It's Kasey with the K Bellas.
Yeah, Kasey, Bellas with an S at the end.
Okay, so when you're not busy with the acting career, down to the last two questions here, what do you like to do for fun?
I love cheerleading. It's my number two because acting's my number one, obviously. And I love cheerleading. I've been doing it for 8 years and I'm a flyer. So I get thrown in the air probably every 2 minutes in the routine. And my dad is absolutely terrified of it. He's like, don't break a leg when you go to practice. Don't break your arm. Don't break your wrist. Don't break your neck. And I'm like, I won't. I won't. I promise. And it's just really fun. I think both juggling both is really easy for me. I think I haven't had a problem yet. And yeah, when I'm not doing acting or auditions or on set or anything, I go to cheerleading practice.
So does that mean also dancing and singing are other things you do as well?
I'm not the best at singing, but I wouldn't say I'm terrible at it. I think, I don't know. But just like singing in the shower, like singing karaoke to my friends in the car, blasting music, I think all those little things add up to my singing skill.
If you get cast in something and they go, "Do you sing?" I'm sure you'll go, "Oh yeah, yeah, all the time," and then
Yeah,
you'll
of
take vocal
course. Like,
lessons.
obviously. And then they're gonna hear me sing. They'll be like, okay, that's not what you promised, but sure.
And then the last question: what's the last concert that you went to?
I have actually never been to a concert, but the next concert that I want to go to is SZA. I know all her songs by head, and I just know everything. And my mom has never let me go to a concert before, but I was gonna go to a Billie Eilish concert, but then I chose a Stranger Things meetup instead. And because I chose that, COVID happened, and we didn't get to go to either.
Well, she didn't let you watch Mrs. Maisel, then you landed that role, and then you're allowed to watch it. Didn't let you go to a concert, but if you can land a role related to a girl that goes to concerts, then is that your gateway?
Yeah, I think that's my path to success in going to concerts, I think.
Well, fingers crossed. But in the meantime, congrats on Notice to Quit and looking forward to what's next, whether it's funny, scary, or a thriller.
Thank you so much. Yes, hopefully it's either. I don't mind.
Paltrocast.